it can be disheartening because no one is talking about making a sequel. We keep making the same movie and no one is going to the next. What happens next? We can go out in the streets, we can rally, we can bring attention and awareness to what's going on, but we often stop there. And I don't know how we can actually expect anything to change when we constantly get to the same point and we stop moving forward.
But we're revisiting that whole civil rights era, but it's just gotten to the point where stuff is just so blatant. It's churning in my spirit. Right. You know, it's churning in my spirit, and I don't know, it hurts a lot. It hurts.
I felt like, is it over already? Because the protests were so inspiring. It was fantastic. It was every color, every gender and generation and everything. And it was exciting and it felt so good. And it was just this great energy. And I felt like, yes, maybe something's going to happen. Maybe people are awake to the cause. Maybe something different. Everybody's saying it feels different. But already today, I felt like, well, it's already faded away. It's already over, and, or are they really going to get it? And when I say they, there is a they, and that's the majority. And, I just had that sense of deflation a little bit already. And it's only been 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I mean, my husband and I kind of have this joke. It was like this skit on Saturday Night Live by Kenan. And it's like this on and on and on thing about this optimism, about things changing for Black people. And Kenan kept saying, yeah, we'll see, and it's just this funny thing. And so we have this amongst ourselves of whenever there's optimism about things getting better for Black people, we're like, yeah, we'll see,
And this one, I think, I don't know if it was the combination of coming at the end of the whole COVID thing and everything else, but this one has hit me harder in a lot of ways than what's come before. And it's somewhat infuriating. So I've gone through all of those different phases of anger and frustration and sadness and everything else. I'm watching what my nieces and other folks that I know are putting online, and just the fact that they're having to have these conversations in 2020 just kind of breaks my heart.
For myself, almost numb, just because it's one after another, situation. And, it's the conversations with my kids that not all police officers are bad, not all white people are bad, the conversations with them gets tougher and tougher because what they see is different from what I tell,
I feel woke now. I feel like I've been sleeping for so long, just because of how I grew up, and now I'm just ready to charge forward. So,
I've been thinking a lot, not just from when all this happened, but definitely more since all of the protests and the riots have been happening, of what will happen when it kind of stops. Because I think this issue it's going to still be an issue. We've seen it throughout history where it kind of dies down. It's quiet, but it always comes back, like everyone kind of mentioned and talked about. And, their voices need to be heard.
And so there are more of us stepping up to the plate to say this has got to change. And, I'm just, sometimes overwhelmed with feeling about it that people get treated that way, but it mobilizes me to do something. And I'm, I want to know some things, what we can do to change the system, standing up for it. and documenting it is important. Showing it. That's good that people are doing that. So that it isn't just you guys suffering, but all of us see that this needs to change.
But I think also the incremental change is a big thing. And I think it's a cultural thing of generationally, each decade, you're going to get a different change. There's going to be people that are a certain age that, you know what, they're going to believe what they're going to believe, and they're not going to change their opinion. But as you go along and more see, you know, I think there's going to be a big shift, as there was in the 60s, 70s, as Norma brought up. That generation made a lot of change. And I think this next generation's coming up will start, that you could see it now, but there will be even more change to come. And I think for the better, of more of just an inclusive world.
I don't know what to do with my anger. You know, it's, yeah, that's where I am. I just, I'm sad. I have so many emotions that are going on right now. And of course, we're in a very crazy time right now with COVID and then this. I mean, could it have been the perfect storm?
I feel anger, but my anger is really more embarrassment and powerlessness. So that's where I stand. I feel powerless that I can't fix it or change it, and I don't know what to do that. And I just don't like that feeling because it impacts so many people. And I don't know, I am completely powerless, and I hate that feeling. So I'm frustrated with that personally.
Yeah. And I know that feeling powerless. What can you do? Especially as a Black person,